Okay, so we get dealt ace jack offsuit in the small blind. It gets folded round to us. It's a pretty good hand for blind versus blind.
Yeah, since you're out of position, it's better to end the hand as soon as possible, since you're at a positional disadvantage for the rest of the hand. For that reason, you should raise. Also, it is a value bet, since a lot of weak hands that your opponent might hold will also call. It gives you the initiative going into the hand as well. Like, it's a lot easier to take it down with a bet on the flop if you raise here.
Yeah. So we raise it to 60. He calls. This doesn't necessarily show too much strength since you're raising from the small blind. Very well may be able to take this down on the flop. And the flop is 298 rainbow.
So this likely missed him. Your hand's probably best, but it's very vulnerable. It can't stand a lot of pressure. So it's probably best that you're the one to bet. To make a continuation bet, probably about half the pot seems about right.
Yep. And he calls. At this point, it's worthwhile thinking what kind of hands he might hold. Maybe just overcards and floating the flop. Maybe a pair.
So since he may well be floating, we should maybe look to put some pressure on with a good turn card. So see what comes out, but there are a lot of scare cards we can use to our advantage.
Okay, the turn card is the 10, which is one of the scare cards. This gives you a lot of outs.
Yeah, you might have 14 outs if you got the open-ended straight draw and potential overcards. If they're all outs, you're only a 2-to-1 dog. So betting here serves several purposes. First off, it will force a fold if he was floating, if he's got something like overcards. Whereas if you check, those hands might be able to successfully bluff you off.
Yeah. It would be a tough call for anyone with an 8, and he may well fold a weak 9 here.
Yeah, it's possible. It's a really good spot to represent strength, because we bet on 3 streets, as we're representing a really big hand. Much of our opponent's range is going to fold, and we're giving ourselves good odds on a bet. Say we bet roughly half the pot, we'd only need to pick up the pot 1 in 3 times to make some immediate profit, and that's not counting the fact that you'll win sometimes when you're called, since you've got so many outs.
Yeah, the opponent must be worried now with all the bets that we've put in that he may face a big bet on the river, which he probably can't call.
So I'd say let's put in a stout bet and see what he does.
Okay, we put in larger than half the pot bet. This will put the most pressure on the kind of hands which he may well have, like a pair of 8s. And he folds.
See, that was a good use of selective aggression. Won us a nice pot, utilised the scare card, and kept the pressure on the turn to run a nice semi-bluff and win a decent pot.